two dope dudes, bringing you the news, leading you to much success with all their insightful views. Do you grow yourself or buy from the top shelf? Are you here to take the reins and gain back your health? Whatever it is, you know the biz. Leave a light, crack a pipe, and let's get on with it. If you want to acquire the knowledge, you don't have to go to college. You can just come hang with Aaron and Dave.
Welcome to the Elevated News Podcast with Two Dope Dudes. We're a podcast focused on discussing local and national cannabis news and culture. I'm Aaron.
Hey, I'm Dave.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Oh, I'm living a dream over here.
I know. It's a bright, sunny day. There's no more snow on the ground.
Right?
Like how
Right.
can
I
you
don't
not
even
be
have to
happy
have
about
a
that?
I don't even have to have a light on right now. I got the windows open and just natural sunny's coming in here today.
Yeah, I saw that. Sometimes when Dave used to stream during the day, you could watch the eagles fly through his glasses.
Oh, bro. Sometimes yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
watch out for me. I'll get fucking
Yeah.
ADD about it. Start watching the
Start
Eagles.
watching, yeah. So I've definitely seen you do that.
Yeah.
So how's your week, man? How's what's new? You think,
Oh, bro. Yeah, things are great. Personally, professionally, so questionable.
still, yeah.
Oh, it got worse, dude. It got worse.
I
Yeah, I don't even understand why. Like, out of anything in the entire world, I think you might know me as being pretty fucking calm about most things. I don't really
yeah,
care. I have
yeah.
zero whatever.
Don't mess with my family. Don't mess with my money. You're pretty easy.
That's a pretty hey, those are good words to live by. Um, and now somebody's messing with my fucking money, but then, like, somebody's now possibly messing with my family too. Not my personal family, but my Canna family, right? The people that I built, spent tons of time with, whatever. Now we are uh I'm pissed a little bit, but it's okay. We'll see. The world works itself out. And if you're right, you're right. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. Right.
Yeah,
And that's all that will come out. My guesstimation is I'm right. That's all I'm saying. That's why I'm so pissed off because I think somebody else is really wrong right now.
yeah.
But what would be new in the cannabis industry? Right.
I mean, I I I guess it bears repeating. The thing that is all the same about all the cannabis in the community and in the world and the industry, whatever, is that if you take the top off, we're all a little gooey inside, right? Nobody really knows what's going on. Everybody's just kind of winging it. Everybody's kind of just
That's
hanging by the seat of their pants, so to speak, and being very reactionary. You know,
100%.
100% reactionary.
Oh, and
Seems.
that's it. Is like you're supposed to be the representative who understands these things and you don't.
Hmm.
And it's through the entire fucking industry, right?
Hmm.
Like all the way from the bud tenders who don't know, all the way the fuck up to the HR departments and the CEOs and the fucking whatever who are literally just letting shit down.
Right. And I mean, that just points to Congress, and goes right to Congress too for not being educated about the laws that they're passing and how they'll actually impact people. And that's
And
why it's
that's it. Is if a law is made interpretable,
Mhm.
then interpretation will it be, you know?
Correct.
And hey,
Correct.
wait, what does it take? A few litigations to figure out what the truth of it is.
That's right. That's right. I mean, that's just the way the world works. But that's why it's important to speak up and to show up and to do what you can and to talk about what's right. You know what I mean?
But yeah, if
So
somebody's taking advantage of you, just stand up for a minute. I
yeah,
mean,
for
what's the
sure.
worst that happens? I don't know. Well, I get humiliated through this thing. I've been humiliated a million times, but I don't think there's any humility in it. Standing up for, hey, don't take my fucking money away.
Right.
Pretty straightforward.
For real. No. Do what you can.
Yeah. So,
Do what you
but
can.
I know that is just I'm so frustrated with that is just something I keep like spewing about. So I apologize if I fucking come back to my angered side or my frustrated side.
But things will continue to work out. So
Oh, I'm not.
you
Yeah,
know,
I'm not too worried about that, right? Like, no matter what, it didn't affect my life where I'm hurt by it or anything. It's purely a have some integrity, have a backbone, stand the fuck up, and do what's right, right?
yeah,
Um, Look, if it means honestly, if it means you're going to take advantage of a bunch of people that I actually care about, I can't stand there and let it happen.
yeah. Well, everybody's trying to cut costs, I guess.
Bro, I mean, fucking, this is a big one though. Like, hey, you've already earned it. It's yours, but I'm going to take it away from you anyway,
Yeah,
just because I
yeah.
want to. Or I'm going to hide it behind some other name, some whatever. We'll
Words
see.
are always open to interpretation, aren't they?
That's it, brother. That's it.
Let's get our plugs out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's get into the news because that's what people are here for, not to just listen to us ramble and you
Get
know
disappointed.
get
I'm
disappointed about
happy, and you should
speaking
be
half.
happy too. I'll stand up for you also.
Yeah, for sure. You can find us the Elevated News Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other favorite streaming apps. Uh, Two Dope Dudes YouTube channel. Please give us a like, leave a review if you're a podcast listener. We do have podcast listeners, those audio only people at work. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We started this as an audio only podcast and then transitioned to video. But podcasting is one of my big loves. I love listening to content. So, we appreciate you. Shout out to you guys. Uh, you can find us at supportdopepeople.com, along with t-shirts and hoodies, and you can get some stickers there too. Dave?
Hey, Thursday nights, come hang out with me. Peace, love, and cope. And YouTube, let me help you take your health back in your own hands with cannabis
Mm-hmm.
and with just good,
Like
here
that,
you are.
like that little ticker I got at the bottom.
Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
bro, look at
just
that.
just for you,
Thanks, sir.
just for you.
Yeah,
Cool. Uh, I
super
got
sweet.
yeah, super cool, right? I got some, let me full screen this so I can read it. Here are comments from was it episode 80 with Meet ICCA, the Illinois Coalition
Oh,
or Consumption for Cannabis Association.
yeah.
And then we'll go through comments real quick because we haven't done it in a while because we've had guests for last two episodes. So Maddie, here we go. Thanks for having us. Big gratitude for all the kind words. We got local grow guy. Hey, hey. The shadow said, "You young people are the future." And
Yeah.
they also said, "Coffee and cannabis ready to go." And then Josh's grow room said, "I'm sorry, but this isn't going to pass. It's a great plan, but way too soon." And I said, "It's still important to advocate for and push for a better future because that's their opinion, and it's a valid opinion. Everybody's opinion is valid, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to try and argue with them or
No,
convince them otherwise."
to be very
Uh,
confident like that though before some things hit a vote, I get it, right? Like
yeah,
we're all I used to say there we will never have adult use cannabis in Illinois, at
right.
least probably not in my lifetime,
Do you
right? Like I
remember
just
when
think
we
that
used
we're
to
too
say
big.
we'd never have a concealed carry either?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Things that yeah. And hey, listen, valid point though.
Yep,
It is very according to timings and everything, maybe the timing is quicker than what the average slow, long, drawn out political process is, right?
right.
It'd be very quick for them to jump in, but it's actually a really well defined
Mhm,
bill, and it actually has some good representation. And it really doesn't do anything else except for take the burden off the state and put it into the municipalities' hands. And it's not even a burden, it's the ability to allow the municipalities to do what they need to do. And it gives a
right.
framework for that. And I love that they've built a framework for this. And kudos to that group.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
they're doing great stuff right now, so, um, hell yeah. Oops, it's a wrong so, on the next one, which was with Mr. CBD. Great show. Had a lot of fun. Uh, got great views too. Got over 500 views.
Holy
Uh,
cow.
Macho Grams, great show, Gromies.
Love me some macho.
Yeah, Cole
Love me some
Memo.
Cole.
Yeah, like button smash, notification button tapped,
Oof.
as always. Charlie Bailey, the birthday party was lit. Looking forward to checking out the hideout.
Yes.
Yes. I've hung out with Charlie a couple times at sessions, which is really
Nice.
fun. Uh Daily Homegrown, another great show, guys. Always learn something new from you guys. Love it. Keep up the work. Y'all make a difference.
Love these people so much.
Yeah. Colin's awesome. Buddy out in the Quad Cities area. He also participated in some competitions with me last summer. Good dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. John Voight. Well, I can comment early. Yes, when I upload the video early enough, you can always comment. The Shadow. I always say that another year around the sun, I just had a birthday. So I told him happy birthday.
Hell yeah. Happy birthday, brother.
IG Hashaholic. Whenever I look up the address, it says it's a U-Haul place. Yes, they share an address.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you pull up to it too, you're like, hey, is this? But that's the whole part of it's kind of a speakeasy hideout type
Mm-hmm.
of feel. And it's very, I promise you, as like uh, w- driving up to it, you're like, ah,
Yeah.
getting into it, you're like, hell yeah. All right,
Yeah.
cool. This is like not what I expected, but such a good time. And it's Mark, right? Like
Yep.
anything that you can be around Mr. CBD in a
Yeah.
very comfortable space where you are actually legally doing what you're doing, you're fully represented. It's such a cool spot, and I'm such a big fan. So, yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
don't be
Lo-
shy.
Love that guy. Love that guy. But yeah, you walk in, U-Haul's on the right, Honeycomb Hideout's on the left as you like walk into the door. It's super cool. Nice area right off the highway. Easy to get into and out of. You know what I mean?
Yep,
So,
yep.
we got some news. I wanted to talk about uh this right here. The Illinois Hemp Program to host the Hemp Summit. Um, we always talk about agricultural hemp, a lot of the cool stuff that actually can happen with hemp. This is something that's put on the state by the state, and it's scheduled for Thursday, March 27th. And you can actually go down in Springfield and like watch it live. I know Mr. CBD was down there last year. Um, I'm sure Rachel Berry will be there from the Illinois Hemp Growers Association, probably Sun Drenched Farms, our buddy over there. But they talk all about, it's pretty high level. They talk a lot about genetics breeding, what they're planning on doing. Used to be able to talk to David Lakeman down here. If you were a farmer interested in growing hemp and understand about the laws, they would help you that way. But it is something cool if you're interested in the hemp, uh, side of things. You can go down and participate, and you should.
Yeah. That's it. What have you been saying forever? Show up, show up, show up. And
That's right.
yeah.
We've seen some really cool things agriculturally for hemp, like some of the plastics and straws and stuff. Just really cool, and we should definitely, we should appreciate stuff like that. You know,
Yes. Yes. Uh a lot of there's so much more that can happen with this plant that we don't even as just an average consumer, we go, oh, that's pretty neat, whatever. But feel it, feel the animal bedding, look
hmm
at the feel the composites that they're making as far
hmm
as building materials, look at the material that they're able to make for clothing and whatever, and to
yeah,
be able to actually touch all these things and go, holy crap, this is literally made from that plant over there, like
hmm
this, all of it. Yeah.
and people are so concerned about microplastics and stuff like that.
Yeah, straw. Paper.
Waste. I mean,
Yeah.
there's all this stuff can be made out of hemp, and it's stronger than
It's
most things.
stronger and completely biodegradable.
Yeah,
It's a plant material.
yeah, it's plant material. Um, Illinois hits highest January cannabis sales since legalization. It's been a couple weeks, so this came out February 25th, just a couple weeks ago. But it's been a couple weeks since we've gotten to talk about any news.
Yeah.
Uh, so uh, IDFPR announced recreational cannabis sales totals for January 2025. After setting a new annual sales total in 24, Illinois kicked off 25 with the highest January sales total since legalization. Looks here, we're 140 million, surpassing January totals by more than 6 million.
Okay.
So, but remember that February was like super low, right? So, do you think a lot of this is just back ended stuff onto January?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so like for them, I don't know if anybody's here trying to get too excited about what's going on because the growth is just so small.
It
Like, I
really
mean, I
is.
don't get me wrong, it's growing, but it's like if the medical numbers are decreasing and the
Right.
recreational numbers are increasing, we know why, right? Because said medical users aren't going through your dumb processes and whatever. They said, fuck it, I'll just go to a random spot. Um, but it depends on where you're at. I mean, we all know that getting it whacked an extra 40% is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of these places up front are giving you 40% off. So you end up paying, you
Just
know,
about the same.
and for the people that are using enough, right?
Hmm.
They're not over purchasing, they're not anything like it's a it's a market. You have access, right?
Yep.
There's ways to get this. Whether you and I think it's ridiculously overpriced or overtaxed or whatever, plenty of folks have enough money to consume this
Sure.
stuff, and they are getting some upfront discounts big enough to make it feel not that bad. It sucks when all of a sudden you go from having to pay $30 to 50, right? But
Yeah.
like in a small microtransaction, this is a microtransaction under, probably under a few $100, a few $1,000 nowadays. They're called kind of microtransactions, but like, yeah, when it's 30 or $50, though, to you and I, the 30 or $50 incrementally means exponentially more, right?
Right.
Where to them, it's just whatever, But yeah, so the tax rate sucks and the overall initial cost sucks, but if it's getting shifted from one place to the other and it's not all this big wave of entry into the market. And the
Hmm.
other thing is too, they will continue. My guesstimation is they will continually slowly grow the market over time.
Yeah.
As you've seen, they went from
Yeah.
whatever to whatever because 21-year-olds will become 21-year-olds soon.
That's true.
Right? We'll have a whole new class of people, and they perhaps have never had access to, or the only access that they want to it because their parents said, "Oh, if you become legal enough." And a lot of kids who just turned 21 that walked through the dispensary doors who went, "Oh, I still don't. I don't talk to my parents about it. I do it myself. It's just nice to like be able to get in here and do the thing and not have to worry about it." I'm like, I hear you. And that's what I
Yeah.
want this market to thrive for. I desperately want to see the market thrive as much as everybody. I hate the division in it. I hate that
Yeah.
we have to call it one thing or another. Let's all just get under the idea that you're worthy of representing it and I'm worthy of representing it, regardless of,
Well,
because, yeah,
yeah.
qualifications aren't the same. And whatever. Winning licenses is harder to do if you're not,
I mean,
well, yeah.
the whole system is a mess. The Farm Bill, hemp, THCA derived from Delta 8, THC derived from cannabis. Like Congress, like it's all just like so dumb, so messy, and we all can't get on the same page.
It's great. Like, here's the thing. I'm just trying to somewhat fight for the integrity of the plant, right? Because the
Right.
plant has far
It should
more
be the
to it
great
than
uniter.
100%.
The plant should be the great uniter.
Well, as Alex was telling us a few months ago when he was on,
Hmm.
they're going to transform wheat products,
Mhm.
not weed,
Right. Wheat.
Wheat, wheat.
Mhm.
Um, they can synthesize different processes of different plants and
Yep.
turn them.
Gene editing using CRISPR.
That's it.
It's
You can
great.
change this stuff into the molecule that all of us want access to.
Right.
And if that's what the government is holding back access to, that's the thing that everybody wants. So it's THC, right? THCA or THC. I don't give a shit what you
Right.
call it, whatever. That's the thing, the intoxicant. That's why it's so scary, is because of the intoxication. According to people who call this drugs and don't know what it is,
Right.
yeah, it's that. But to be able to have access to it from sources that aren't the plant, again, all of this is just taking
Yeah.
away the integrity of what that plant has to offer.
Sure.
um and not even just as a ingestible, but as a you know an alternative to deforestation.
Yep.
There's plenty of beautiful possibilities that would give us the same results. I mean,
Yeah.
paper is one of our biggest exports, right? We make a lot of money off of shipping paper around the world,
Mhm.
and or different paper products as a whole.
Yep.
And that's from trees getting cut down, my friends.
And
We
there's so
see the
much
sides of
there's
mountains just getting wiped out and cleared.
yeah.
Um, where is it done at a reasonable rate in some capacities where right, I'm not a hater, right? I get it, but also, could we just change that entire process, allow the forests to grow as the forests, and if we need to do some trimming underneath to make sure they're not burning down fucking whole entire states, well, then that's probably fine. But like, to absolutely mow down entire mountainsides of trees for paper use seems
Right.
foolish when we have a plant that grows in 90 days, and we can literally have the same results from,
Right. I'd
if
rather
not a better
save our trees for actual good lumber instead of importing lumber from China and other places where it's, not even as structurally old or sound, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So there's renewables, and not to mention you were talking earlier about paper, all the waste, all the pulp waste and stuff that goes into the water, into the rivers, into our ground as a byproduct of making that. It's gross. There's pollution from making that as well. People talk about reducing pollution. Agricultural hemp, which is doesn't contain enough THC to get you high. Agricultural hemp. This is like talking about like agricultural corn. You know what I'm saying?
it's different.
It's
Like
it's a million. It's not. It's weed,
stringy,
but it's not
tall.
weed.
No,
Y-
it's completely harvested for different purposes, and
Right,
that's why, like,
and at
what
different
we've talked
times.
about from forever, you could probably take those plants under good, it's something that would be an agricultural plant. My guesstimation is, and I don't know how many generations it takes, and I don't know how much fucking attention
Right,
it takes, but you could grow that thing to actually probably end up budding. I don't know. Again, I'm guesstimating at what
right.
I'm saying, but those
But they're looking
plants,
for like big stalks. They're looking for big herd, which is the inner part of the
yeah,
stalk of right.
yeah,
That's what agricultural hemp is grown for is for the fiber, not
bingo,
for the buds. I'm
bingo,
just
and
making that distinction.
they
That's
don't
all.
even, if I don't know if I'm right or wrong in this, but like when they, because like in cannabis production, you're flipping all these cycles at very
Hmm.
timed increments so that you're getting the best flowered production.
Right,
I don't think that these people give a shit. I think they're growing it out in like sunlight, just giving it proper ground nutrients
right,
so that it will grow, like you said, the
thick,
stalk and the fibrous part of it as big as it can be.
right.
Um, the only thing that I'm saying is it it kills that we're only looking at this plant now from some very
Yep.
narrow perspective of it, which is the adult use or medical side of it, which is uh, an argument. It's a back and forth, as a fight, or state legal text, or
Hmm.
black market or whatever. Right? It's the fights that are going on are amongst the intoxicants. It's not amongst the
Right.
people that are using it for its greatest properties, which to me, again, it's I would say medicinal use, right? But saying the word medicinal is tough because there's only a few direct conditions that it is treating.
I mean, stretching is medicinal.
Yeah, touche.
Just saying, like,
To,
stretching is
to,
medicinal. So, like,
to a degree, there's
every
argument
morning,
that all drug use,
right.
whatever people are scared is this drug, could be considered a medicinal use of something, considering the idea that our brain health is you need it's a medicinal response, right? It's a medical response. Your brain health is worth it as well too. It doesn't always
Well,
just mean you're
yeah, we're talking about self-regulation. So
yeah,
why are we trying to regulate self-regulation?
yeah,
You know what I
precisely.
mean? That's pretty crazy. It's only a problem when your personal stuff affects others. You know what I mean? That's the only time that should become a problem. If you want to shoot heroin on your own time, as long as it's not affecting others, then, like,
Yeah. I mean, I hope you
I
don't,
mean I mean,
but
yeah,
that's another thing,
absolutely,
and
but
I've
I'm like, but you do you, like, if that's how you feel.
if
Now,
that's your best
addiction is
response and your best coping mechanism,
sure.
that's the other thing too. It's a systemic fail, right?
Right.
We should be allowing access to um, psychological help
Yeah,
at a far greater rate than we do.
correct.
And I know that it's out there, right? You have the ability to go get cognitive behavioral therapies,
Mhm.
um, but it's
As a society, that's not where we're at, you know what I mean? As a society, that's we have a lot of people in our society, so it becomes a problem of how much can you take care of and how much do people need to self-rely on themselves, and then, you know,
yeah.
regulating self-regulation, I guess.
Well, and like I said, you could do whatever the fuck you want to you,
Right,
according to me. That's just
right.
my take at
That's
it.
what
Do
I'm
you, boo
saying.
boo? But like once it comes to re-interacting again, now if you suck
Yeah,
at doing whatever you do, and now you can't interact with the public
right.
or anybody else with
Yeah.
integrity or whatever. Yeah, that's where the
No.
fail is. But I think again, let's get to the root of the problem. And a lot of times, the people that are misusing or overusing a lot of these things come from a
Well, and I was going to say that addiction is different than self-regulation. Like,
yeah.
if you have the disease of addiction, then we should be helping you treat the disease of addiction. And if your disease of addiction makes you want to do heroin too much, then we should help you with that. And you shouldn't be doing heroin. But if, like, that's like the one-off thing you want to do, and you ain't hurting nobody, you can do whatever you want. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Just to
I just
just to
I think
clarify that point.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't think yeah. I just think that there should be a better access to all of the things that would be the healthier versions of taking care of yourself. And different
Well,
podcast for a different day, but like it
mhm,
definitely we're failing um even in something so to me, I guess, I think it's simple cannabis, right? I'm like,
right,
how are you so confused by the difference of what a THCA or a THC or gas station or dispensary or why is there a confusion outside of you decide that you like to be polarized by things?
right.
The only decision you've
Yes,
made is I'm going to pick a side, and because
yes,
that's what we're taught to do is pick one side or the other. You cannot understand both. You're not That's not what this is about. This is about
right.
you picking a fucking side and fighting for it, improving it, and then that way you can be nah.
I
Because
mean,
and literally with this plant, that's why what Mark and and you were talking about last week was literally like, why don't you all come together? The pie
yep,
that you're eating out of is small, and you're allowing the pie to be small because you're allowing all of this garbage to mean more than what the thing you're representing is, right? Like the I don't know, your stance because you got to win your license and the whatever
Mhm.
makes you one side of the aisle, and then
Yep.
the other person, because they couldn't win the license, had to go get this other license, and now supposedly no matter what they have to be the other side.
Yep.
We can't work in conjunction. You understand there was just a limitation of licenses, so
Yep.
I have to be hemp instead
Yeah.
of cannabis because I could there's only 20 of them. Oh well,
Right.
there's more now. Well yeah, but I don't have all the uh, you know
And hemp
diversity, equity.
licenses weren't given out, to my knowledge, based on your social equity,
No.
on somebody's definition of social equity, or what the state's definition of social equity, I
Well,
guess.
yeah, and the other, I mean,
Because I mean, it could be argued that their definition of social equity is incorrect.
well,
I'm just saying.
interpretable by some
Sure.
polarization. That's literally
Absolutely.
all it is. How polarized are you by this, and how much do words associated or talked about around it polarize you?
Yeah.
Um, and like it's unfortunate. Like I said, I don't even care about any of it. It just fucking pisses me off that nobody is representing this plant, which is very measurable. You could literally, if you had the scientific skill to grab the plant from any one of us, you could go measure it at any time within your whatever. But it's not that. It is literally my interpretation of what that thing
Mhm.
means, and call it drugs or call it medicine. And we've got two completely different sides of an aisle with people unable to find an agreeable space. And, like I
Well,
said,
there's no
but
incentive to do so. I mean, everybody's so focused on what the president's doing. The people with the power to change the laws is Congress. We've talked about this before. If Congress wanted to change, repeal the CRTA, they could do so. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Uh, so we got to fight for bills that are being sponsored now, that are good. That's
Yeah,
why we like, shout out to the Consumption Act. You know,
love it.
go there. Shout out
Yeah.
to the new Caregiver Act by the one we've talked about before. I think it's House Bill. I don't remember right offhand. I don't want to say the wrong one, but the one that expands caregivers and plant count. That's another good one we should be celebrating. Speaking of people who are not celebrating in Illinois,
I I was yeah. There's been like
yeah.
three segues to this thing that we could have talked about because it
Oh
is
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I thought the stuff that we were saying was important.
Oh no, don't give me. But like what we were talking about could have segued into this
Yeah.
thing a bunch of times. Just yeah, you see it.
So, Air Wellness has signed a letter of intent to sell its 4 marijuana stores in Illinois because the company doesn't have the scale to compete over the long term. We're taking a hard look at other markets to make sure we are prioritizing those core markets that will deliver for our business, Air President George DiNardo said Thursday during the company's fourth quarter and full year 2024 earnings call. This is March 7th, so fairly recently. Asked by MJ Biz Daily for more details on the pending sale, a spokesperson said none of that information is public at this time, and it was first reported by Green Market Report. It says it will consolidate its facilities in its core markets. And let's see here. Yeah, they've also closed a manufacturing facility in Nevada and subleasing its original medical marijuana cultivation and manufacturing facility in Massachusetts.
I wonder. So, besides us, Nevada has the worst taxing. I wonder if Massachusetts is the same. And the
Massa-
only reason I'm saying that at all is because these players are surrounded by other markets that are
Mm,
just so much better than them. So, if AYR is looking at it and going, well, everybody hates on Michigan.
yep.
Oh, Michigan's the Wild West. You got to be whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Michigan makes 3 point something billion dollars a year, and we're struggling to get from 1.6 to 1.7, right? Like we're these people are actually making the money. So as much as you can hate from over here behind your borders and whatever, those mofos are able to produce. So why wouldn't you want to be involved in the markets where people are producing? Now, again, way bigger competition and some of the names that already existed, but like I don't know what AYR owns in other states, but if
Yeah.
Michigan's one of them, focus your attention there. Money's getting spent there, right?
I mean, everybody says Michigan's falling apart though too. So
Falling apart how? Show me another cannabis market that makes $3.3 billion.
no, I know. I'm talking like from the growers' perspectives is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm telling you is that they're going through the growing pain. Well, they've always had some issues because of just oversaturation
Right.
of some things, but
Sure.
like allow the cream to rise to the top, right? Like
Absolutely.
the top will be the top, and people will respect that and allow it, and then the bottom will be the bottom, and people will respect that and allow it. We still have everything from you know. Long John Silver's and White Castle out there, all the way
Yep.
up to Morton's and shit, right? And it
Yep.
all exists.
Yep.
Every single one of those restaurants continues to thrive. Well, some of them are starting to struggle, but that's exactly it. It's like TGI Fridays is going away, bro. Where are they going? Chili's is killing it though. So what's the difference? It's like, are you good? Like Cresco has always been like the Walmart of things, right? And then you've got
Cresco
TGI on
just
the other side of it. And like maybe Cresco is like fucking Chili's, and fucking GTI is like Fridays. Like you mean something at the beginning in the development, and you have all this backing, and you have all these players to help you. But look at you aren't as good as this other one. Therefore, you will continue to fall apart.
that's why is it AYR? I thought it was air. I just read that as air.
It could be, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
who knows?
absolutely right. And I think they
I've never
are.
even seen them. I don't think I've ever seen any of their products.
Yeah, but that's just the parent name. They are. Hold on.
Got to go to Ill Trees, the Great Illinois Strain Hunt. That's probably. Are they not a cultivation company, right?
Oh, they do have products, but it is not. The brands that they represent are not big ones in Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's why I've
Levia,
never.
Later Days, Haze, Kind are their brands that they represent. Um,
Uh, I got it. Yeah, no, never heard of them. Anyway, so yeah, I've never seen any of
I,
their stuff, but it looks like they're out of Florida and they're going to continue. It says their Florida accounts for 70% of its retail network. And it's also focused on scaling its business in Ohio, where adult use sales during the fourth quarter contributed to meaningful increases in both retail and wholesale revenues, which just points to what you were saying earlier about, you know, being there in the beginning and being somebody, like Cresco and GTI.
well, and like I said,
And look at Cresco. Cresco just it just came out today. Uh, that they got the largest license in Kentucky.
nice.
So they're going to be real big on the Kentucky scene.
Yeah.
And then speaking of Ohio bill seeks to regulate intoxicating hemp and limit sales to marijuana dispensaries from our friends at Marijuana Moment. So Republican state senators want intoxicating hemp products to be sold only at adult use dispensaries. No, thank you.
Yeah, how
Uh,
about that?
not convenience stores, smoke shops, or gas stations. Uh, they introduced Senate Bill 86, which would also impose a 15% tax on intoxicating hemp products sold at dispensaries and ban the sale of intoxicating hemp products to anyone under 21. Didn't Ohio have a 10% blanket tax for dispensaries? So they want 5% more to sell intoxicating hemp at a dispensary? That's kind of crazy.
If that's, I think you might. Well, I think it might be. Yeah, I think you might be right. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think because we've reported on it, I think they had
I
a
think so.
10%, and you're like, oh, Ohio, you're doing it right. And, but yeah, currently intoxicating hemp products are untested, unregulated, psychoactive products that can be just as intoxicating, if not more intoxicating than marijuana. Wilkins said in his sponsor
Well,
testimony.
how is it more intoxicating?
I
Because
don't
it's
know.
got that lethal, deadly Delta 8 in it. What the fuck are they
Well,
talking about?
because
THCO.
well, the problem is that we get hemp derived delta 8 cannabis, and then they spray it with shit, and then people think it's spice, and so you get shitty fucking products in the gas stations. Like,
Yep.
that's the actual problem. How about we don't allow anything to be sprayed, like any flour to have added anything? How about that? Can we do
I just
that?
I don't think everything that I've ever touched, right? In my
Mm,
whole entire life of
yeah,
cannabis, even from gas stations, because I smoked plenty of gas station shit just to find out what I was dealing with. None of it, none of it was anything but a representation of a plant.
right.
I don't know that any of it had. I mean, we all pretend that it's got sprayed by or touched with some. Nah, if anything, they tried to reintroduce other uh, cannabis byproduct, right? Like some keef or
Sure.
some something to try to make it, more of a potent experience so that you actually go back to that product. But a lot of times, there's some mids in there, right? It ain't, and it's just flour. Anyway, whatever. Each their own.
Ohio is one of the 20 states that does not have any regulations around intoxicating hemp products because, it's federally legal.
Yeah.
So, unless the state has a law, federal law supersedes that, correct? So, given the lack of regulations, the intoxicating hemp industry has been able to confuse Ohio consumers and law enforcement by marketing themselves as dispensaries with recreational marijuana, Huffman said in his testimony. So, wait, so the hemp industry, the intoxicating hemp industry, has been able to confuse Ohio law enforcement because Ohio law enforcement didn't understand the laws? Is that what he's saying?
Given the lack of regulations, the intoxicating hemp industry has been able to confuse Ohio consumers and law enforcement by marketing themselves as dispensaries with recreational marijuana. Oh, so
This
I would imagine that he's trying to tell us that there's hemp businesses out there that are
yeah.
saying, "Hey, come get your weed here." We're
Mm,
dispensaries, and then just the uneducated public
sure.
would just come to the place because they go, "Hey, I heard that Ohio has cannabis, so now I'm just going
Yeah.
to go find the place." And if just by looking like a place, people are coming to your spot.
Well, that has more to do with, maybe local municipalities should have laws or regulations on businesses as to how they can advertise.
And
You
I
know what I
think,
mean? So
yeah, yeah. I
so
mean, we
yeah,
have it. We have it here. We get,
we do.
yeah.
So they had a bill last year that they were just going to ban all of the sale of all of it. So that did not pass because what's been going on is like all the hemp farmers and businesses that actually pay state and municipal taxes show up because you know just blanket banning it all just puts people out of business, and senators and uh, representatives and aldermen and city council people don't like it when their constituents get mad because their businesses you know shut down because of them. They also want to regulate drinkable cannabinoid products, which a lot of places are starting to do, which is kind of unfortunate because it's still access to cannabis.
Oh, does that say $3.50 a gallon excise tax?
Yep.
Wow.
That's that's pretty expensive.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, so like, let me think. You do a few maths in my head. Yeah, I mean, dude, if
Yeah.
one can of this stuff costs people $3.50, or let's call it $5, right? And then that's a 12-ounce can. What is it, 64 ounces in a gallon? Am I right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So you're looking at, right under six, right? Right. Like, so a six pack of this stuff. So one out of every six, you have to pay the price of the entire product. Like six would be in a thing. One of them, you're giving an excise tax to the government. The other one, probably already the tax that isn't excise. And that, so by the time you're said and done, what's the point of making drinkables?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just it's more tax. It's we talk about it all the time. It's more tax. It's just another sin tax for the government to try and get their money because uh, you know, states only exist to extract wealth. That's what they exist to do. I mean, that's the purpose. So any way they can get their tax money and pay for more stuff that they say they desperately need, or to cover their decisions that other people have made in the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you got to show up. You got to speak out. You got to say, hey, this isn't fair. This isn't right. This is taxation without actual representation because you're not representing me in the correct way in Congress, in the Senate, et cetera, et cetera,
Yeah, or in the prison system,
or in
where
the
people are
prison
still
system.
going to jail for this
Well,
damn plant that these people all have millions of pounds of fucking access to, right? Like they can have as much as they want. You have more than a small bag's worth, and you're a criminal.
yep. Get your
Whatever.
medical license. It'll
Yeah.
protect you
Yeah.
and protect you for
Get
possession. You can carry a couple ounces on you if you like.
get your expansion of limits. There's a lot of things that you should be doing if you want to protect yourself with the cannabis. It's a good idea.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got anything else today? I think we got a short show because we got some stuff going on.
No, it's all good.
I mean, we
Thank
got a couple minutes left. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I appreciate everybody who comes in here and listens, and
Yeah.
I liked being part of the live chat last week a little bit.
Yeah,
I
it was
tried to
super
be.
cool.
Yeah, I was driving while I was doing it, but whatever. Don't tell anybody. Um, no, yeah, it's all for the plant. This whole thing to me is all for the plant.
It
It's
is.
to make sure that the people that I love the most have access to the plant, but it's also so that the plant holds its integrity through this thing. And um
It does feel so commercialized right now. It feels like everybody's just trying to make a buck off of cannabis.
good, they should,
Yeah,
everybody should be able to. I mean, if you have a small market of people that are willing for you to do the stuff for them,
sure.
grow it, process it, whatever, I trust you enough. Why can't we trade goods and services? um It's silly, you know? I mean, literally, you could grow everything. You could grow
Yeah.
fruits and vegetables, you could grow livestock, and I could come over and purchase it from you. It doesn't matter. This one plant, we have this regulation against it, which is causing mass confusion and probably an unbelievable amount of division.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's sick. It's sick that a plant that is actually so good and can do so much good
Yeah.
holds as much weight in this negative space as it does. Or not that it's holding weight. I mean, it's that people put it into this negative light and fight over it like it is
Mhm.
some, you know, shiny coin or something that
Yeah.
isn't completely renewable and completely individual to the people or the individuals who are growing it and putting the love into it to begin with. It's just
Yeah.
a plant. Just
It's just a plant.
grow it better than the other people, and why wouldn't I want yours?
You know what I
Doesn't make
forgot
sense.
about? You know what I forgot about, Dave?
What?
I forgot we gotta do Know Your Terpenes.
No, 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 your terpenes.
That's gonna be the new thing.
Oh, well,
I
which
got
ones
one.
do we talk about?
It's right there. I threw it
Oh,
in the chat for you too.
damn. What is this? I don't, I see it.
Sabinene. Sabinene?
Sure,
Sure.
sure. There's a lot of
Sure.
terpenes out there, friends.
There is a lot of terpenes, but hey.
Yeah. The thing is, for me, it's mostly the ones that you're gonna get. great access to are the ones that you should understand. I don't know that Sabinene is going to be one that you have a great access to, but I'm
Super
also
Silver Haze has it. A lot of the haze stuff has it.
and
This is like the peppery, and then many people say that it smells like pumpkin pie or reminds them of the holidays.
oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a unique peppery or spicy scent. This is like the spiciness, the kind of similar to what is it, beta caryophyllene is the other peppery one, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So it's similar to that, but it says it's unique. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is antibacterial and has antioxidant properties. Uh, yeah.
Oh, I
What do
love
you?
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry I don't know this one. Yeah,
That's
I'm just reading through it. It's
But that's why we do know your terpenes so that we can understand different things. So
yeah, I know it now too. Now I feel
yeah,
more known. No, and I think honestly, like, see, this is why I'm all the way for more science
yeah,
behind this. Because if we're able to separate all the different parts of it,
sure.
right? All the different terpenoids, all the different cannabinoids, and have it your way after that,
Mhm.
we'll rebuild it back. And if we know, like, and I really like in this description of this thing, it says, although this terpene should be used in small quantities,
Right.
right? So, like, knowing that having too much of this it's not going to maybe cause, I mean, it's peppery, it's spicy, right?
Yeah.
It could cause you to be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
I've definitely had some weed that had some like different scents that are described in this. You know what I mean? Some of the like unique peppery and like pumpkin pie-ish kind of aftertastes. You know what I mean? This is where this is where you start to experience those things. And if you know what the terpenes are, you kind of know what to look for when it comes up. Like I was smelling some rosin out of Colorado Saturday night at Sessions in Carroll Stream, the uh, private party cannabis lounge, and it was a strain that had a lot of beta caryophyllene because it was very peppery. It was
yep,
very meaty. It was very peppery.
yep,
And I was able to identify that and know what terpene that probably was related to. Now,
yep.
I couldn't see the molecules and go identify it and say it's definitely this, but I go, oh, this probably has this, and so that's why we try and educate people.
Well,
You
and
know what I
even
mean?
then, to
And
know.
ourselves.
Yeah, well, and bingo, you nailed it. I mean, to be able to pull the nose off of something and to go, okay, it has more of. And when we watch through these things, you'll see the commonality of
Mhm.
what terpenes tend to do. The peppery, spicy, woodsy
Yep.
one, okay, antibacterial, antioxidant, maybe even depending on where it's at. And I haven't read enough about this one to,
Sure.
but better chance maybe it's got an anti-inflammatory property to it
Yeah.
too, right? And even if it doesn't, to know that in conjunction with most of your peppery whatever to
Mhm.
have an antibacterial antioxidant that just kind of is going to play the cleaner anyway,
Right.
why not?
Yeah, and if you know that, then you can be like, "Oh, I want more peppery weed," because I know it's good for me because I feel like
Well,
it's this
bingo.
or that. So that it just allows people to identify what they like and what they need, and you know, if they smell something and they go, "Oh, my nose likes that," they go, "Okay, maybe my brain is
Well,
telling my body, my gut bacteria, my whatever
even
is telling my body that I need some of this to regulate myself and to feel better."
yeah, but well, bingo, and
Yep.
that's for the in the same regards. Then, if let's say we had a bacterial infection or something
Mhm.
of the topical sense, perhaps having something like with
Right.
um, Sabinene or beta caryophyllene or something that's going to be antibacterial and
Right.
naturally beneficial might be the thing that you would want to use, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, it's foreign, right? So I don't know that anybody out there I'm recommending it to, but like if I had an open wound, maybe I would put some cannabis into it, like
Yeah.
some FICO or something, right?
Yeah.
Um, purely because I know the benefits of what's going on personally and what I
Mhm.
believe in, right? I know that I'm not going to harm myself by putting a very clean product into
Right.
even an open wound at times. Me personally, I don't tell
I'm
you
not
to.
gonna rub I'm not gonna rub, like, weed on my wound.
No, no, no. But
Not
an
dried
actual
cannabis
oil
flower,
that
but, like,
has
yeah.
the concentration of these things that are
Yes.
antibacterial, that are anti-inflammatory, that are vasodilators, that are whatever to an affected area, it seems like, oh well, why wouldn't we put a natural like healer's ointment,
Yeah.
right? Whatever it is, and it's just that's what it is, right? If you'd rather have a carrying agent to it that makes it feel more medicinal to you, they can put it into an ointment, whatever, and then you can spread that on. But
Oh, yeah.
I prefer just the raw, real thing.
That's right.
And like I said, it's
Yeah,
just knowing which different ones would be the most effective for which thing that you're going through.
that's right.
Yeah.
Get out, touch some grass, smoke some weed,
Oh,
right?
yeah. It's beautiful out there right now.
It's nice.
I'm very contemplating going to disc golf, even though my back is a little bit sore.
I've done, yard work Saturday and Sunday, so I feel you.
Yeah,
But, maybe we should go disc golfing tomorrow.
it's possible. It's a very good possibility.
Hell yeah. Good show.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, we love you all. Smoke weed every day. Peace.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here. Time to go.